Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. Today, we are speaking with Melissa Green as we are celebrating National Military Appreciation Month. Melissa is a Navy veteran, military spouse, and founder and CEO of Southern Sweet and Sassy Coffee. You'll see them on the bottom of my frame because they sponsor our show. And Rise Above Coffee, both under the Grounds for Cause banner. And I'm so happy for her. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, folks, we will be speaking about the value of those who have served. And I know a lot of folks, a lot of organizations are trying to figure out where they fit in after service. And it is a challenge that we face here and there. I know I faced it myself in my transition from military to civilian sector. I know, Melissa, you've seen some of that your own in your
Mhm.
own journey, both for you and your husband. So, well, we'll be talking about that. But before we get into that topic, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes. So I'm Melissa Green. Like Enrique said, I am the founder of Grounds4Cause, and it's a company that brings together Southern Sweet and Sassy Coffee and Rise Above Coffee to not only sell amazing coffee, but also to focus on providing support and information of nonprofits that fall within those specific communities. I am also a military spouse. My husband has been in the military for 20 years. He retired in 2015. That's actually how we met. And I'm a Navy veteran myself. And yeah, and to just have a definitely a full life, 4 kids, three fur babies. But I'm also working a full time job as well as just continuing to build my company itself.
Very proud of your not only your transition, your heritage, the military service, but that you, hey, folks, on top of entrepreneurship, let's just throw this 9 to 5, will we? Right? It just there's how much time do you got, girl? But it's heartwarming to see how resilient military people really are in facing certain things that come post service in their day to day. And so
Mhm.
most people will say, no, that's it. I can't do it. I, I see a lot of military people saying, yeah, we maybe not be able to do that, but what can we do? And that's what I love of about our community. But I wanted to ask you, Melissa, you're in this HR field. You deal with placement and the HR community. Uh, what specific skills and attributes do veterans bring to the workforce that make them valuable assets in leadership roles?
Oh, definitely. They actually bring a unique skill set, just the skills and the attributes that do make them valuable assets to the leadership roles. So I would say the first one is effective communication. So having military service that instills kind of like that clear and concise communication skills, it's definitely crucial for conveying objectives and fostering teamwork. In those positions. And then you're adding on adaptability. I mean, we're accustomed to, our like rapidly changing environments. We adapt to new challenges, which does make us resilient leaders because we're able to navigate those uncertainties. So there's that. And then you have like decision making skills. I mean, we make decisions under pressure all the time, and of course, the different environments that you're in within the military. I mean, there's times when you have to make those decisions. So it definitely helps us hone that ability to make those decisions. And then it tends to end up being that vital skill in leadership. But then you have like strategic planning. So, that's another one that the training basically emphasizes that strategic thinking and planning. And then it enables us as veterans to develop that long term visions. And goals for it could be for ourselves, it could be for our teams, it could be for the environment. And then, of course, team building. I mean, we're all about collaboration. We're all about teamwork. You have to work together, especially in that type of environment. Um, so we understand that importance of teamwork and building and leading the diverse teams, and it could just be towards like a common goal.
And I love those. I've seen those myself, and I'll tell you that we are always training. We go from one training environment to another training environment, and it seems like that never stops. But we get accustomed to that being the
Mhm.
thing, right? We know that you have to train to fight. And when I was in the Pacific, train to fight tonight, right? You
Mhm.
have to be able to answer the call of the nation at any time, and we do that through training. Now, training in the military, training in civilian world, two different things. I hear more complaints about the training they have to do, and it's like, come on, just do it.
Mhm.
But how has military training and that
Mhm.
experience, how does that translate into effective leadership practices in the civilian workforce?
Yes, well, you figure, within military, I mean, we develop a structured approach. So oftentimes military leadership will involve like clear chains of command, that structured processes, and that can streamline into like operations, increase efficiency within the civilian workplaces. And then you have like the emphasis is that we put on missions. So we bring a strong sense of um, just mission accomplishments, to the civilian roles. We motivate our teams towards that common goal. Um, and we have that dedication and that focus. And then we train in crisis management. So that's another one as well. So our experience equips our leaders with those skills, and that enables them to remain calm and decisive during emergencies or even like high pressure situations. And then we focus on accountability. So that's another one as well. We do emphasize that accountability. We instill a sense of responsibility in our leaders, and to be able to own their own decisions and their actions. And then that tends to foster trust and reliability in the workplace.
Very important things to have,
Mhm.
not only to possess yourself, but also to offer for someone
Yeah.
else, especially as they're hiring. And a lot of companies are wondering, well, what's the benefit? What's the benefit of me
Mhm.
hiring this person? Yeah, I know they can show up to work on time. Yeah, I know they answer, the call if you ask them and this and the other. But in what ways do employers benefit from hiring veterans? Specifically around the terms of team dynamics, problem
Mhm.
solving, and definitely organizational culture.
Oh, for sure. So there's a lot of benefits in hiring veterans. Not only are, we dedicated, resilient, but as far as like team dynamics, we often contribute to diverse and inclusive team dynamics. So we draw from our experiences working with individuals from different backgrounds and cultures. And we do that during our service, and it's something that we carry over after. As far as problem solving, we have those skills that enable us to approach challenges with some sort of like creativity, resourcefulness, and that can lead to innovative solutions. And then organizational, culture. So we do bring that strong work ethic, that discipline, commitment to excellence, which is a huge one, and positive influential organizational, culture and even performance. So it is definitely beneficial to hire veterans, even military spouses. That's another one as well, is hire the military spouses. I mean, they're standing by their spouses while they're going on deployments, and they're holding down homes. They're taking care of their kids and their finances, and they're very organized. And they would make excellent workers. So there's that as well.
And you bring up a very important topic there that I did not want to miss,
Oh,
which is the military spouse
yes.
segment of the whole body of this family, right?
Hmm.
You have the military member that gets to go boom, 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 boom. And oftentimes, military spouse, well, you done with your vacation? Right?
Yeah.
Because we go abroad and we go to these places, we're taking pictures, yada, 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 albeit sometime in part of the mission. But here's a this military spouse. that
Hmm.
gets to stay behind with everything. And a lot of times, corporations, organizations don't see that, right? It's in the
Hmm.
military, and sometimes we don't see that, right? And so, how can businesses best support the transition for both the veteran and the military spouse into civilian careers, especially those leadership positions? Because we know both can fulfill or can fill those spots.
Hmm. Yes, no, definitely. And it's something that I'm currently implementing in my current workplace is mentorship. So providing that mentorship, offering mentorship where like the veterans that are transitioning now can receive that guidance and support from those veterans that have already transitioned and they have already have that experience in the civilian world, within civilian employment. So it helps ease their transition into that workplace and helps develop those leadership skills. So here, we're putting together a program where initially we wanted to call it Battle Buddies. Um, but we're probably going to label it something else. And it's where we've already have those veterans who, let's say, have been with us for a few years now, or they've transitioned for a few years, and those that are just now coming out of the military. We're able to partner them up, and it's voluntary basis, of course, but we're able to partner them up, and they can kind of help them transition into that civilian life because it is not easy. It definitely isn't. But then another thing is recognizing those transferable skills, which for a while was very difficult for employers to recognize those. They had a hard time transitioning what, let's say, the service members did in the military to how does that correlate to civilian employment. So employers nowadays, I mean, they should take the time to be able to recognize and value those skills, and provide opportunities for them to be able to leverage those. And that's something that we're doing here as well. And then offering that training and development. So, providing that additional training, those developmental opportunities that can be tailored to veteran needs. And it could just be helping them bridge any sort of like skill gaps, to be able to excel in those positions, and just creating those veteran friendly policies. That's another one as well, is implementing those policies like flexible scheduling or recognition of military service, creating that supportive environment. And one of the things that we're doing here, which I just absolutely love, is we've created a veteran like wall, is really what it is. So here in the DC, which is the distribution center that I work in, and on the factory side, because now I'm in manufacturing, is we have this veteran wall, and it's beautiful. And on it, we have a TV showcasing all of our veterans, or even those that are reservists currently, and some of their family members, and we'll have little photo pockets to recognize that. And then, of course, what we do for all the different holidays, Memorial Day, Veteran Day, all of it, you name it, we're taking the time to put that, the emphasis on that recognition. So there's a lot of different things that employers can do.
That's amazing. Now, when you talk about the ability to go and get some of these military veterans, military spouses, there's a lot of recruitment that happens on a day to day for the general population. But what initiatives or programs have you seen that are successfully promoting recruitment and retention of veterans
Mhm.
and military spouses in leadership roles across the various industries?
Yes. Well, I know within the government there has been approved, you have the work tax credit program. And they do that for veterans. And I believe within the past couple of years, they added on the military spouse work tax credit as well. So these companies will obtain stipends from the government for hiring those that are military spouses and veterans. And of course, it's up to the person that they're hiring to volunteer that information. And it's nothing, let's say myself in HR, I don't see that, because it's anonymous, but it's something that everybody that's coming in, they're able to say, hey, yes, I'm a veteran, hey, yes, I'm a military spouse. Again, it's voluntary demographics. um, But then a lot of companies like us, I mean, we have established military hiring practices. So we're going to the bases, we're showcasing what the company is doing, we're targeting specific communities. To be able to bring on more veterans and military spouses and even the dependents. I mean, there's dependents that are working as well. But then you talk about the specialized leadership, programs, I mean, that are targeted towards veterans, just kind of grooming them in a way for leadership roles as you're coming from the military, which sometimes it's gung ho and very hard, and then you have to learn the softer skills of the civilian work life because, well, you don't want to offend anybody, it's not like the military. Um, so so we have programs to help develop skills needed to be successful in a leadership program. But then having what we call employee resource groups, those networking and just support groups. And there's some that specifically for military. What I'm part of is what we call the milcom, which is the military community here within the company that I work for. And I'm part of that leadership board and creating these policies and processes, or really just kind of the initiative to link all the different sites that we have. Some, that could be factory based, hourly with corporate, and making sure that all of our military connected community is getting together and, just being able to be that resource. So yeah, there's a lot of programs that's going on, and of course, the organizations that I absolutely love, like Act Now Education and Vets to Industry. Um, there's just so many that's out there that'll help.
And that's true. There are a lot of military created.
Hmm.
By that I mean military members have gone out and created these organizations that are pairing those coming out with
Yeah,
those that are needing an employee, and those are very vital to have as a resource. But if you're not aware of them, you're never going to take advantage of them.
yeah,
So I hope that those listening, if you are a veteran or military spouse, start digging in to the different things that are available because you may be missing out if you don't. Now, Melissa, thank you so much, first of all, for your service as we're celebrating the military folks this month. Also, your husband and the family, because you guys all have served in one way or another.
yes.
But before we go, what do you have coming up, and how can the listener or the viewer get a hold of you?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Lots coming up here locally in Arizona. For one, I spearheaded the implementation of SkillBridge for the company that I'm currently working for. So I'm super excited about that. And we're about to have our first SkillBridge participant come on in August. So hoorah for that one. Um, and as far as, getting a hold of me, like I said, I'm the founder of Grounds4Cause. So you're welcome to take a look at our website, which is grounds4cause.com. We're on Amazon, we're on Spousely, which you definitely have to check out Spousely. Monica, the founder, is amazing. Um, and I'm here locally in two stores with Retail Therapy Arizona. So definitely reach out, and you can follow us on at S3 Coffee Co. or at Rise Above Coffee, or the newest one at Grounds for Cause. That's more of a CEO's, viewpoint of everything. So definitely reach out and connect.
Well, folks, we will have all that information as part of the video and show notes. It's on every one of our podcast episodes because they
Yeah.
sponsor us. So go to any of our videos and recordings, and you'll find a link to them. As a matter of fact, I just got my 5 pound bag of coffee. I'm delighted
Yay.
drinking my stuff. So I highly encourage you to go shop around, look at what they have, and support this small business, veteran owned small business, military women owned small. I mean, name it, put it on
Latina,
there,
like
right?
just
Latina, yeah.
super
There's
diverse.
plenty of things on there, but support the small businesses this
Mhm.
month for sure. And I want to remind everybody that today's episode is sponsored by Fantail Services and Superbass, which are powering our website and app, Southern Sweet and Sassy Coffee, the Outlier Project, and Duco. And if you've enjoyed this episode and learned something interesting about the topic covered today, make sure to subscribe and let us know by leaving a comment. And we're always looking for new ideas and guests that we can add to the show. So if you know someone or have a topic that you would like featured on the podcast or want to sponsor our show, let us know by emailing us at triadleadershipsolutions@gmail.com. This podcast is brought to you by StreamYard, a browser based tool that lets you live stream to any platform and record podcasts in studio quality. And we use it to record this podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode where we dissect leadership from another angle. And as we like to end the show, success to you.